Happy Friday, everyone. It's Friday, May 22nd. It's time for another Chemistry 1 lesson, the last one for the week. So let's start with a joke. You know, I used to be addicted to soap. It's okay. I'm clean now. In what way is somebody addicted to soap? Like, do they eat it? Or do they just wash real heavily? Soap tastes terrible, and you shouldn't eat it. You shouldn't eat it. It's really bad for your stomach. You're violently sick. I don't know anymore. But today's objective is we're going to review the different types of mole conversions. So, since the beginning of last week, we've been talking about moles. And the big idea was that 1 mole is specifically 602 hextillion particles of any substance, or 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles of one substance, okay? That's a mole. And we use that to define a specific amount because if you have that many particles, it is a relatively nice-sized amount that you can calculate and you can mess with in the physical world because a single atom is too small. So we need a large amount that's uniform between all substances we can do, so we use mole. Now we know that 1 mole is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles, and we also know that it goes into other things, and we're going to talk about that. So mole conversion factors. When it comes to amount, 1 mole is equal to that many particles, and that is the definition of 1 mole, okay? But we can't physically count particles. So we know that when it comes to mass, 1 mole is equal to the molar mass. And remember, you get the molar mass off the periodic table. That's what we talked about on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, okay? And then lastly, from yesterday, we know that when it comes to volume, 1 mole is equal to 22.4 liters, okay? A single mole is equal to all of these things depending on what you're either calculating or what you're given to start, okay? Now, we did conversions for all of these. So you know how to set up the conversions, but the big question is going to be, how do you know when to use which? Well, it comes down to the units. Whenever you're given a problem, it's always going to mention the same unit, at least right now when we do single-step conversions like this. What's that one unit's always going to mention? A mole. Because each one of these things is equal to 1 mole, okay? What you want to look for, though, is what are the other units mentioned in the problem? Is it a type of particle? Does it say particles, atoms, molecules, or formula units? Does it say grams? Or does it say liters? If it says particles, or any type of particle, you're going to use this one. If the problem mentions grams or mass, you're going to use this one. And if the problem mentions volume or liters, you're going to use this one. For right now, you're only using one at a time, and you need to make sure you use the correct one because you're either given a specific unit or looking for a specific unit that is one of these 3, either particles, mass, or volume, okay? So you want to make sure you're using the correct one. Today's assignment that I give you is giving you example problems, but you don't have to calculate anything. I want you to tell me which of these 3 factors would you use to solve that problem. Pay attention to what the units are. If it mentions particles, it's the first one. If it mentions grams, it's the second. And if it mentions liters, it's the third, okay? Make sure to try that assignment. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. If you have any questions, make sure to comment in the Google Classroom or send me an email. I will be more than happy to help all of you, okay? I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I will catch you next week.